the Scribble region, this is going to be where can your player actually draw on the screen. So if you want to block out and say that only half the screen can be used, then you could actually say percentage or width, and then you can offset left or right and choose which one you want. When it comes to the offset, you have 100, meaning it's basically saying the 100%. So if I say 50% offset, and I was to do the width at a 50%, then I'm actually saying I'm going to move it over halfway, and we're in the middle of the screen with 50% of the screen being used, so the corners on both sides wouldn't be used. If you move it 100%, you're saying you want half of this screen. If I move it back to 0, I'm saying I want this half of the screen. All right, and this one, it's worth, go inside, build a game, test it out, so you can kind of understand how the percentage works for it. The reason for it, though, is that you may have a bottom bar with like a HUD or something, and you don't want to draw down below it. Then you're setting it up so that it has a buffer range, a padding where it can't be drawn. The Scribble Physics material, if you want to actually add that, so we could enable this one, and then we could say that the friction, we're going to say that if we do add a physics, so for instance in the Scribble options, if we say becomes dynamic after you get done drawing, then we're going to say that it's enabled and it has a bounciness to it, and we'll actually take our static and our dynamic down to 0, so when this hits, it's actually going to bounce more like a basketball when you get done drawing it. Alright, and then the Scribble Effects, we have some options for those. So we have our Scribble ink. This is going to be the actual drawing portion of it. So we'll say that it is going to be the, let's see, I think we have one for start. Oh, there's one for start. Okay, this will probably be the Scribble, actually I think it's going to be the ink. Okay, it's going to be either the pattern or the color. So whichever type you want to come out from it. I'll do the item pattern. Actually, we'll just do the flat color. This will be a good one. The start, we'll say spark start, and then spark idle, and spark end. And the sparks are every time you click to start dragging and making a line, or the player uses it as an item and uses it. You'll have those 3 states. So then the ink is just the image that comes out. All right. Now there is a health option directly related to the items you make. If you want it unlimited, you can. If you want it to be affected where other players can shoot at it, or it can take damage and actually go away, then you can uncheck this and say this is how much health it has. All right. The Scribble hit point is just saying what can actually be hit by it. So you have your whole hit point system in terms of the physical attacks, magic attacks, and all those things with it. And then the last 2, you have a option to say you can shake the camera when you're drawing and when the object gets hit. So you can enable those if you want to add a little bit extra effect for the camera actions inside of it.